And it actually doesn't occur to them that the ego is lying and that they don't have to believe what the ego is saying. But eventually everybody will come to understand that.
Because that idea that if that thought is inside me, obviously it's mine. It's not exactly in that way, right? Because not that thought, that, monkey talking, that voice, not as all the time is our. I mean, it's the ego most of the time, that talking, that fear-based belief and voice doing something. Because I know many people who are struggling with this voice of ego voice.
Well, that's exactly right. You probably know who Don Miguel Ruiz is, the author of The Four Agreements. He wrote another very good book called The Voice of Knowledge. The voice of knowledge is the term he uses to refer to the ego and all of its insane thoughts. So he talks in The Voice of Knowledge about how he had a profound spiritual awakening. And after his awakening, he started to observe the so-called voice of knowledge very, very closely. And after listening to its thoughts closely over a long period of time, he came to the conclusion that the voice of knowledge is wrong over 90% of the time. So he offers two pieces of advice to the reader. One is, don't believe anything your voice of knowledge tells you, because it's almost certainly wrong. And two, don't believe what anybody else tells you, because they're just repeating their voice of knowledge. That's his advice.
Yeah, it's quite right. Yeah. But, how we can recognize which voice is the right voice or the wrong voice is quite, sometimes it's quite difficult. Right?
Well, the soul doesn't really speak through words. It speaks through feelings. Feelings are the language of the soul. And in particular, feelings of love, peace, joy, and excitement. Those are all communications direct from your soul. Anytime you feel love, peace, joy, or excitement, that is your soul saying, whatever you're thinking or whatever you're doing right now, that's good. Keep going in that direction.
Yeah, right. When I was preparing this interview, I had another interview. I don't remember. I think it's Buddha at the gas pump. You explained very well about atheists, the people who doesn't believe in this kind of thing. And you said something like, because they choose not to believe in that kind of thing. That is the reason they, for example, the people don't believe in planning life before birth. Is because they serve in that way to not to believe in that life plan.
I do believe that. I believe there are people who plan before they're born not to believe in the idea of pre-birth planning. That could be for almost an infinite number of reasons, but they concluded pre-birth that this is the kind of plan that would best serve their growth and their learning and their healing. And this is why I always say that my work is an offering, but not an attempt at persuasion. I don't want to persuade anybody of anything, because I feel that whatever path they're on is the best path for them, even if they don't believe in anything about pre-birth planning.